Sup guys, Zanderson977 here today to do Zankyou no Terror episode 6 review, or other words, Terror in Resonance. Now this episode of Terror in Resonance, Zankyou no Terror, things get turned upside down, right? Based on what we saw that happened last week's episode, right? With 9 and 12, right, and how 5 basically cornered them, set off the bomb, right? Even though 9 and 12 are the terrorist group Sphinx, we always see them move in a particular way where up to this point they haven't killed anyone yet, even though they use real bombs and even though they have set off bombs. They always take countermeasures to not get anyone killed, or at least killed at this point in the story. But it seems as if with this new character that's been introduced, 5, she's a completely different kettle of fish from them, even though they came from the same backgrounds in whatever institute that they were together in, or they were trying to escape from, whatever that case may be. She's a completely different kettle of fish with their own different philosophies. She apparently doesn't care whether people die, yes or no. She just wants to get her point across, and her point being she wants to have fun with 9 and 12. She wants to play with them. That's what we keep on, that's what we hear constantly from her. That's what she's constantly saying, that she wants to play, she wants to have a game with them, she wants to have fun, right? That's her main purpose. So apparently from her perspective, or from her opinion, or her mindset, basically she doesn't care if there's innocent people being injured and killed. And even though 9 and 12 stole plutonium, so that may hint that that their motives, they're basically terrorists, yes. But it seems that at this point in their story progression, or at least at this point in their plans, they don't want to involve innocent civilians, or involve having killing people at this point in the story. And because 5 is the one that wants to play with them, and she doesn't care whether people die, yes or no, it hinders their progress in terms of what they ultimately want to accomplish. So that's it. I first start off with this one. We start off where we left off last week, with that whole revelation of 5 being introduced to the story. And in fact what actually happens is, we see 9 taking a shower, and we see the injury on his back from that bomb explosion, that bomb blast. He's taking a shower. We see Lisa hanging up clothes, and she takes up the same t-shirt that 9 was wearing with the big hole in the back of it. And they were basically pretty much shook up by that incident. And it showed, because after that point 9 tries sleeping and he's having nightmares and all of this shit. And what even gets revealed later on in the episode is that we get to see where last episode the director Kurahashi was taken out into the special meeting. What actually happens is we see 9 and her subordinates get introduced to the story. It's revealed that she's a researcher or something like that, and it's revealed that the American government is now being involved with this domestic Japanese case. And the reason for that being is they have proved, according to them, that the plutonium that was stolen from that facility in Aomori, a couple 6 months ago, it is linked, or they have reason to believe that the Sphinx group and their activities, it is linked to them. So they are now intervening, because they say that the American government have a huge interest in that regard, in the plutonium that was stolen. For what reason, I'm guessing we'll probably eventually see later on. But that's why the American government, the FBI, in fact, is intervening in this case. And that's why 5, basically the American government has taken over the investigation. They have taken control of the entire situation, and they are now beginning to make their move against Sphinx. And to tell you the truth, this is the first time that we see Sphinx as a group being cornered, or being put out of their element. The first time. Every incident that they have, they've always manipulated and maneuvered the police according to what they want, according to their wishes. But this is the first time that we've seen Sphinx being basically pressured in a sense, and it shows, because it's one of their own that's facing off against them. So we hear 9 and 12 themselves in this episode say that if it's 5 that they're going up against, they're going to have trouble. It's going to be a difficult fight. And you know they are prepared to do whatever it takes, but it seems like they're apprehensive about this. What also happens is this scene between Lisa, and we definitely get to see how she's definitely being introduced to the story and her relevance for being in this whole fiasco, right, of what's going on. Now, Lisa, she's basically hanging out the clothes, but basically 9, no, 12 actually, as usual, he comes over to her and he begins talking to her, telling her how she has a unique color in her voice because he has synesthesia, which is basically a disability or whatever he would call it, where he's able to see sound as colors or whatever he saw sound. Basically, synesthesia, as I understand it, is basically a mixing of the senses. So he is able to see sound, right? The sense of sight and the sound and the sense of hearing. He's able to have other sensations that's associated with sound apart from just hearing it. So he basically tells her that she has a unique voice, and then they begin talking, and he basically comes across over to her and tell her that 9, he's this kind of cold dude and kind of sadistic, but she doesn't have much to worry about because at the same time he doesn't really mean what he says, in a sense, basically trying to cheer her up. And then this scene actually switches over to where it's revealed that Sphinx has begun to make a move, and we don't even see the video that Sphinx does as they normally would do. We just begin to hear the reports of them beginning to make their move, and it's basically a riddle, a new riddle that has to do with this number sequence, right? Both Sphinx, the real Sphinx, and the police department, the code, what it actually is, they figured out that it's coordinates to this airport, and they figured out that it's coordinates to this airport, right? And then they begin to realize that this bomb is supposed to be at this location of the airport, and for them to disarm the bomb because they say that it's 5 that they're dealing with, and she would really set the bomb to go off on her innocent civilians, right? She said that yes, 5, she's this kind of insane, she's this kind of crazy, so they need to go there as terrorists themselves, right, as quote unquote enemy in a sense, to try to disarm this bomb, because she set up a trap basically where if they don't go and if they don't move, then they will get blamed for killing a lot of innocent civilians, which up to this point they haven't done yet. And if they do go, and it's a trap that 5 has played for them to get caught. So basically 12 gives 9 the idea that if they have a person that's not known, right, who's unknown, a person that's amateurish, as he would put it, outside helping them, then they may actually push through and they may actually get through with what they attempt to do. As usual, 9 was originally against it, but then we see Lisa begin to tell 9 herself, begin to talk up to him, basically that she believes that she wants to be a part of the group and she believes that she can help. And she tells him that, and she looks into his eyes. They stare at each other for a bit, and then he tells her what to do, how to get on a train, and basically I guess give her instructions what to do after that point. So he agrees and he accepts her in order for her to help them on this mission. Now in this mission, right, when they actually get to the airport, upon getting to the airport, we see 5 in her special investigation squad members having surveillance cameras and all of that. They apparently at first missed the fact that 9 infiltrated the facility, but then she was able to, like being a psychic person, she was able to pinpoint exactly where the error was and figured out that 9 has already made a move. One thing leads to the next. We see 9 and 12 change out of their clothes and all of that, and then they eventually went up into the main facility where there's cameras. 9 pinpoint a camera on them, realizes that it is them, and then on the main airport station screen, she begins to show them basically a chessboard, and then they begin to realize that okay, she wants to play a chess game with them, and she has made her first move. We even see that happen. So this game, they basically said that at the end of this game The final position will reveal the location of the bomb if they're able to win. So we didn't see it go down, and this episode is basically, as we put it, a set up episode for what is to happen in the next episode. Heck, even at the end of this episode, we didn't get to see a sneak peek of what is going to happen in the next episode as we normally would see. So it's bound to be interesting, bound to be some awesome stuff going to happen. And oh yes, another thing that I almost missed, Shibazaki and his police friends, because the police have been basically neutralized and they've been basically told to basically sit back and don't do anything, just to shut up, because they have been given orders from up top to not do anything. They've decided, Shibazaki has decided, under the guise of going out to get lunch, that he's going to go there and he's going to do something. What exactly they would be able to accomplish, who knows? But he has the resolve to go out and to make a difference along with some other members of his police team. So that would also be a crucial part to play in how everything plays out. So this will be definitely interesting. We definitely want to see what will happen, because 5, she's making her move, and the reason she is making her move in this way is under the impression or the intention of capturing 9 and 12, right? It's a game that she wants to play, and in a sense civilian lives will be on the line, but her reasons for doing this is to capture them, right? And she even says that she's the only one that can defeat them, which seems to make sense, because the police, they've been basically toyed and tossed around, and basically, being humiliated by getting their investigation documents leaked by, basically they've been tied around by Sphinx so mercilessly, it's hilarious. And 5 even sent this herself. So this 5 girl, she seems very intelligent, very smart, same way, in the same way as we see in 9 and 12, especially 9. So it should be a good confrontation. But overall, I thought it was an awesome episode of Zankyou no Terror. I'm very excited for the next episode. I can't wait to see what happens. So overall, I thought it was an awesome episode. So that's it. That's my review. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Sayonara.